Good morning, welcome back. There is a ton of stuff out here which could mean one thing. We're baking. We're baking a bunch of fall flavored muffins and I'm going to stick them in my freezer because it's been a long time since I've had muffins or quick breads in my freezer. So we're going to start off with some chai streusel muffins, and this starts off with some butter and brown sugar. And welcome back. I am Carrie. This is Keep It Simple DIY. We're just playing around in the kitchen, which is pretty typical. That's what we do all the time. I have a ton of stuff out here. It is kind of a mess today, and this is sticky, but we are going to work through it and make some delicious treats. I'm going to use my Danish dough whisk to mix this up. I debated on if I wanted to use like a mixer or if I wanted to use this. So I also plan to make a blueberry streusel muffin, and can't remember the other one. What's the other one? This might not have been the best choice of things to use here. I normally don't use this because I feel like it has speeds high and higher instead of like low. Whoops, I already got stuff all over me. I guess this wasn't cleaned off that well. Let's try this. Probably should have added the other sugar at the same time. We're gonna add some white sugar and 2 eggs. I have been wanting to make these for so long. I don't know why it's taken me so long to get here, but here we are. I'm adding some vanilla. I love these measuring cups because they have lines at the halfway mark. So I'm doing a half of a cup of milk, and so that's a half of a third of a cup, and there's a perfect little line. So that is great. You always add a little bit less water when you're using a powdered milk. Now for the dry ingredients. Gosh, everything's everywhere. I'm going to take 2 cups of flour. And then we have a little bit of a lot of things. So I'm going to use, it says espresso powder. I just have this instant coffee. That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to do a tablespoon, not a tablespoon, a teaspoon. And then we need baking soda, baking powder. I didn't see salt. It does not say salt. That kind of sounds like a mistake. Maybe I'll add a little bit of salt in. I love that I've got 2 sides here because I just dipped into the dark first and just use the light color for the other. So we need some cinnamon. Now I don't have allspice. Allspice is listed here, but we'll add some ginger. I added a little extra ginger because of that. And then a little bit of cloves, and I'm just doing little teeny bits here of each of these as we go through, and then nutmeg. Ooh, that smells good. Okay, now I'm going to add a pinch of salt just because. Pre-mix this just a smidgen. This has a crumble topping, and I'm so excited for it. These are a little bit more over the top than I normally would do, but they look delicious. All right, let's get these put in here. This is a very thick batter, probably because it's not a cupcake, it's a muffin. I think we're gonna make 12, but I didn't read the recipe. Whoa! And I am using pans with muffin liners today. I just don't have it in me to wash the reusable ones. It's fine. Oh goodness. For the streusel topping, we have some melted butter, and I need 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Whoa, my other brown sugar ran out. So this one I had in the freezer. Get that out of the way. I actually need to add it to the list. This is the last that I have. Okay, 1 cup of flour, and then a little bit of ginger, nutmeg, and cinnamon. We are going to get this mixed up. let's get this on here. And then these are going to go into the oven. Oh, this is gonna make a mess. Yep, huge mess. That's okay. About 14 to 16 minutes. No, maybe 16 to 18. We'll watch them. It's always just, shnikes. I don't want it in there. These are the worst to clean, right? I literally hate cleaning out these pans, but it's okay. Well, I got most of it off of the pan. Into the oven, these go. I remembered what the last one is. It is a maple pecan banana bread, and I'm going to do walnuts instead of pecans. This calls for a bunch of bananas. I just put all the bananas that I had. And then 1 cup of packed brown sugar. That was 2/3 of a cup. So I'm going to add another third. And then a couple tablespoons of maple syrup. That's good. Use whatever's left. We need 1/2 cup of coconut oil. It says melted, but mine is like always melted. So hopefully that doesn't give us like issues with the consistency. And then we also need 1/2 cup of almond milk, it said, but I'm going to use soy milk because I don't keep almond milk around the house. Okay. We need some cinnamon. We need some nutmeg, and this one actually does call for salt, which is great. And a tablespoon of baking powder. I know the orders, I'm not going in this time. That's okay. And then 1 3/4 cup of flour. 1 3/4. All right. All we need to do after that is add some nuts. To crush them, I just have them in this Ziploc, and I'm just using my hand. They're crushing really easily. But also, doesn't banana bread go with walnuts usually and not pecans? I mean, they're both good, but I feel like walnuts are the way to go. So I'm going to add most, but not all of these, because some will be for the top. Well, that was the smallest little bit ever. Fold them in. Well, I guess we'll just mix them in. They can be mixed. Now this one is supposed to make a dozen, so let's see here. Whoa, that might be a little too filled. And these go in at 400 for 18 to 20 minutes. So I think the other ones will be out by the time these go in, so that'll work out. So for the topping, it said to use turbinado sugar. I do not have that, but I do think a little bit of sugar on top never hurt anyone. So that one's gonna overflow big time. Let's see if we can get, stop. Oh, there's the timer. That is perfect timing. Oh, they are not even close to being done. But I am going to stick these in, even though it's a lower temperature, they'll just take a little bit longer to bake. The last one is blueberry, and the oven is not quite done yet with that first one. I think I was supposed to make them bigger perhaps, but I did just increase it to 400 degrees because that is what this recipe calls for, and the other one that's in there now. So I just added 1/3 cup of milk, and then I'm going to do also 1/3 cup of just vegetable oil, which yes, is not good for you, but I'm using all of it up before switching to avocado because I don't want to waste it. You need 3/4 of a cup of sugar and 1 egg. And that last recipe didn't call for an egg. I double checked it and it was just a little weird, but it didn't. But this one does. This one actually doesn't have very many ingredients at all, which is so interesting because some of them have a ton of ingredients. That was vanilla, and then I'm going to add in a pinch of salt for this one as well. Maybe 2 pinches. You need 1.5 cups of flour. Oh wait, and well, we'll mix it all at once. It'll be fine. Maybe a pinch more. And then 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And I don't want these clumps, so I'm going to declump it before I put it in there. And that's it. That's all this has. And then we are going to put a crumb topping on it. Well, I mean, of course, blueberries, but I'm going to mix it up first. Blueberry muffins are my absolute favorite muffin. I've never tried this specific recipe, so I'll let you know if it's a good one. Need the things. This calls for a cup of fresh blueberries. I don't have fresh, I have frozen, which is fine. And this is 12 ounces, so I think that's about 2/3 of this bag. I'm gonna put it back in the freezer, and then we're going to fold them in, and I am not concerned. I saw this towel, and I thought it was the cat. I'm like, what is he doing there? I'm gonna fold them in. I don't care if the whole batter turns purple. I'm totally fine with that. Put one in. Oh gosh, might have overfilled that. These are probably going to take a lot longer to cook because these blueberries are still frozen, which is okay. These ones also have a crumble. For this crumble, we need some cubed up butter. Oh gosh. I'm not sure how cubed this is gonna be. There we go. Close enough. Need 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/3 of a cup of flour, which I think we're gonna just call that, and some cinnamon. Then we grab a fork and we smash it together. And on to the top this goes. I think that made too much crumble. That's all right. Well, hopefully these taste okay. I kind of burned them. I was doing the blueberry muffins because these ones were taking forever to cook, and now, we'll see. I just took these ones out and we did a much better job on those. Not burnt. These, oh, it's so sad. Hopefully they'll still be edible. So do you remember when I said the frozen blueberries would be okay? It was indeed not okay. I've never had this much failure before. I got one set of muffins that looks good. The other 2, not good. So I'm gonna get these out now that they've sat a minute. I think they might taste fine. They're just like shrunken in the middle, sunken. I don't know. They sunk in the middle. Is that what we say? I cannot even believe that. This also, I don't know. Oh gosh. Well, I guess we can taste it. Not my favorite. I have a blueberry recipe that is my favorite one, blueberry muffins. I'm gonna go back to that one, I think, in the future. Well, you win some, you lose some. I think I had a 33% success rate. Could have been worse, right? These ones taste okay. They sunk because the blueberries were frozen and that added a lot of liquid. That's not making the flavor be not so great. I did eat a whole one of them, and what I didn't like about it was too sweet. The other recipe that I have is not as sweet, and it's more of like a dense dough, which this would have been had I not, you know, put frozen blueberries in it. But I think my other one is better. I haven't tasted these, but these ones look great. They're a little dark on the edges, but I think we're good. Now these ones, let's see. This might be, I'm not sure how much of this is even going to be edible because the bottom is completely dark. I'm making such a mess. Let's see. Oh gosh. It's a bummer because these were supposed to be delicious. You know, these do taste really good. They're a little dry because they're overcooked. But anyways, but they're good. If you enjoyed this video of me completely failing, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and you haven't yet, please subscribe. If you're interested in some other videos where I made delicious baked goods but they were not burned, I will link them here, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.